Hey guys, today we're here to go through how to fill the CERBERUS Húsafell Sandbag. Our new Húsafell sandbags are quite a complex bag inside. The reason it's designed like that is so it will maintain its shape and feel and act like an actual Húsafell stone when you're using it. That being said, it does make it more difficult and a little bit tricky to fill up. So let me go through tips and tricks on how to get it filled properly and effectively. Today we're going to be filling our large Húsafell sandbag, which is currently our 120 kilogram sandbag, okay? So first thing to do, guys, when you get it is make sure pull it out as much as you can, the external bag to its maximum capacity. Open our Velcro flaps. Unzip the filling funnel, which will roll out and pull apart. Okay, now inside this bag is a secondary bag. Now it's very important that you get your arm inside here and push it to all the corners of the bag so it fills the space completely. So while doing this, try and feel for the seam and make sure it's fully pushed out into each corner and the sides and also the top part. Okay, now you're ready to start adding your sand. When adding the sand, the best thing to do is to focus on making sure each time you add even just a couple of kilos that you give the bag a good shake about and make sure the sand is pushed into as many of the corners as you possibly can. This is going to make it a lot easier to get the weight in and the correct volume of sand as you go through the process. Now I'm going to make sure that it's well distributed inside, okay? I'm even going to go in and check the bag inside is not trapped or folded on itself and the sand is pushed into every corner. Once you've done this, you can continue to fill more sand. No one's going to want to watch me load this, so we're going to do a time lapse now for the rest. When you're doing this, guys, you really want to make sure all the sand is compacted as it can be and pushed into every corner as much as possible. What I'm doing just now is I'm adjusting the inside bag to make sure it's pulled up and not folded or stuck underneath any of the sand. Okay guys, so again, we're just stopping as we go through, making sure the sand is well compacted. Now, another thing to consider when you fill in these sandbags is ventilation. Always suggest best place to do it is outside or in a very well ventilated area, okay? Pushing that sand into my fists, pushing it into all the corners of the bag. Just as before, trying to make sure that none of the inside bag is folded down or trapped on itself. And it's important that you're doing this shaking thing also with your pulling up the inside bag, okay? Not just the outside. So as you get closer to the top of the sandbag, filling it, you really need to make sure now that with your hands, you're pushing it into all the corners. Because these sandbags are supposed to be hard packed and tight to mimic the feeling of a stone. So we're getting pretty close to the top of the sandbag now. and we still have some sand to get in. So this is where it can be a bit challenging, and if you haven't been compacting it all the way through, you're going to find it difficult to get full, okay? So make sure you're getting your hand right in and you're distributing that sand into every corner of the sandbag, okay? Now, because it's going to be slightly heavier now, I would suggest that when you're going to be shaking it about, you seal it down. If you're feeling a heavier sandbag, like a 120 or upwards, it's going to be really useful to have someone to help you pick it up and dump it in order to get the sand compacted as tight as possible. Okay guys, so that's it now fully filled. They are challenging to fill, but they do give a tight, hard packed sandbag, making it feel more realistic, more like a Húsafell stone, but with all the convenience of a sandbag. This can be dumped and dropped on grass, on concrete, in a gym, in your garage. You don't have to worry about damaging the floor. It's not as hard on your body. Concrete and steel Húsafells will cut and damage your arms. Sandbag's a little bit softer, meaning you can train more often with this. Yes, a bit of work getting it filled, but once it's done, it's worth it. Once you're finished, guys, you just simply zip up the top. Make sure the zip's nice and all in line and flat with each other. Pull over the first vertical flap. Again, the Velcro flaps, however, you're not cranking these on, guys. These are not to be cranked on. They're to sit on top of each other because the bag will have some expansion when you drop it. The bag will have some movement because it's a sandbag. So these are simply to hold everything nice and tight and to support the zip. These sort of creases you're seeing in your bag are normal to start with, okay? These will dissipate and go away as you use them, as you dump them about them more, and as the sand settles inside. Just going to give the bag a little weigh now to check in it's come in on weight. So as you see there, guys, comes in at 122 kilos. So that's how you fill our CERBERUS Húsafell sandbags. If you guys enjoy this kind of content, let us know and we'll get more put out to you. Thanks for watching.